Hello everyone, and I just want to have a short talk with everyone about drawing and drawing improvement, and talk about how much I've improved over the years and how important practice is. And I never felt that I had a whole lot of talent at drawing, and I just always kept trying and kept pursuing and kept pushing myself to improve and improve and improve as best as I possibly can. And I have some drawings here that I was going to show you of how much I've improved from how I used to be about maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago, around there, how I used to draw compared to how I do now. And if you want to see a comparison of how I'm doing now, you can just look up my recent videos. And here's an example. This is some random doodle of a snake and a heart. I have no idea even what it is or what I was even thinking, but and this is just a sunset, and there's like some palm trees. Might be hard to see. It's kind of bright in here. I did that one because I was thinking about when I lived down south, down in Florida. And this one is a self-portrait I did from about 10 years ago. And when I look back on it now, I just laugh because, I mean, back then I never thought I could be able to draw portraits like I do now. And so when I look at it, I'm like, wow. Like, to me it looks horrible, but I've just spent so much time practicing. And so yeah, that's one of my old self-portraits. I didn't know nearly as much as I do now about drawing, you know, getting the whole lines down and the shading and everything. I didn't know a whole lot back then, you know, compared to now, that's for sure. I didn't know hardly anything. And this one here is just some bird, not anything special. So don't even, no idea. Some of these I find them because I was looking at some old drawings I had in my closet, in my dresser, and I found some of these in there. And I keep all my drawings I have that are completed, and I was looking in there and I found these drawings, and I'm like, I should show everybody this. And so here I have a drawing I did of my cat, and he passed away recently about a couple months ago. I don't know if you all can see it so bright, but yeah, he passed away a few months ago. He was about 6 years old. Yeah, he's about 6 years old. And he's a good cat. Love that cat. I have one more drawing here. This was this was with acrylic paint. And it was one of my first acrylic paintings, and I look at it and it's just so horrible. Man, I mean, the first time I started drawing with watercolor, I didn't have this problem, but like, using acrylic paint is so different than using watercolor. Just completely different. And I had already done some watercolor first before I started doing acrylic painting. So the way I was thinking of doing the acrylic painting was in the style of watercolor. And yeah, this is how horrible it turned out. It turned out pretty horrible. And yeah, because the paint, it's a lot thicker than watercolor, I think. And yeah, the whole sky is as red as you can see there. Just a pure red sky. And I kept trying to add water to like take it off, like how you do with watercolor, but it just doesn't work because once it dried with the acrylic, it wasn't coming off. And the whole concept of how acrylic works is just so different than watercolor. But I didn't get discouraged, and I went ahead and I kept practicing with acrylic. And acrylic and oil painting is two things I got to work on. I think I do pretty good with watercolor. I've always liked doing landscapes, scenery, or doing a space thing with watercolor. Is my absolute favorite, doing the space ones. Get a lot of color in there and then add your stars. And they can be very different and very creative. They're not really that difficult, but If you have any questions about how I do those, I can show you. But for now, these are my old drawings I've done, and tell me what you think. Tell me if you think how much I've improved compared to how I was 10 years ago. And thank you for stopping by and watching, and if you have any questions, just let me know.